Manav.
Today's date, 30th January, is remembered as Shahid Divas or Martyrs Day. We will now observe a silence of 2 minutes. Good morning to everyone present over here. My name is Mana Javrani, and on behalf of VES Institute of Technology, I warmly welcome you. Thank you so much for investing your time with us. The aim of VESIT has been to develop abilities and creativity of each individual, cultivate autonomy, and develop a sense of responsibility to society. Let's watch a video to get a glimpse of VESIT.
Recording in progress.
kunde dutu.
There has been a tradition of our college to start an event with Saraswati Vandana. Goddess Saraswati is an embodiment of wisdom, knowledge, and learning. Let's seek her blessings in all spheres of life. So please welcome Kashish Jhatwani and Karuna Hotmalani of first year, Computer Science Department of VESIT, who are going to present Saraswati Vandana.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृति विदेवे सदा वन्दिता सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यापहा.
Thank you, Kashish and Karuna, for such an amazing performance. This melodious song has filled the whole atmosphere with positive energy. With this, I welcome Dr. Geeta Ajit ma'am, Assistant Professor of Department of Humanities and Applied Science of VESIT, the Pooja Shetty ma'am, Sushil sir, Vikas sir, and Dr. Ramesh Solanki sir. I invite Geeta ma'am to say a few words on this occasion.
Thank you, Manav. Thank you very much. Good morning to everybody. Respected Principal, Dr. J.M. Nair, Vice Principal, M. Vijayalakshmi ma'am, faculty, staff, and the staff of VESIT, and students of VESIT, Dr. Ranjit Ghatak, faculty and staff and students of IMI Bhubaneswar. A very good morning to each and every one of you. Today we are gathered here to celebrate Nritya-Utsav, the traditional dances of Maharashtra and Odisha. Now, what is so important? Why dances? Dances has always been very, very important to our Indian classical tradition and culture. It is said that the dance form, whenever we start a program, we always have Lord Nataraja with us, which is an avatar of Lord Shiva. And he is depicted as a divine cosmic dancer in the classical images of Indian art. He's both said to be the creator and destroyer of the good and evil. And why is dance so important? Let's go back a little into the classical tradition or the history of our Indian culture. In the ancient tradition on the sculptures of Shilpa Shastra, it tells a story of dance and art. It is said that in the old days, a king from Vajra asked sage Markandeya to teach him the art of sculpture. So what did the sage do? The sage handed the king a lump of metal and asked him, "Do you know to paint?" And the king said, "No, I do not know how to paint, but I'm ready to learn." So he said, "No, do you know how to sing? Or do you know anything about music?" And he said, "No, but I'm ready to learn." So he asked, "Do you know how to dance?" He said, "I don't know how to dance, but I'm ready. I know a basic about the musical instruments." So what did the sage tell him? The sage told him, "First go learn to dance with the music, learn about music, and with it learn dance. And from dance, you can learn how to paint, sculpt, and all the other arts." So that's how important dance is. It comes just after music. With it, with the expressions and with every movement, the eyes, every part of the body, it gives a message, it embodies and it emits a knowledge to the audience who's viewing it. It's a communication. And today is a very special day for all of us. Today is Martyrs' Day, the day we lost the father of a nation, Mahatma Gandhi. And it was a dream of the father of a nation to have a united India, Ek Bharat. And with that, today, we as a team of Ek Bharat, Shreshth Bharat, we bring in the amalgam togetherness of the dance forms of Maharashtra and Odisha. And our students have done a wonderful, wonderful job of it. And I'm sure all of you, the audience, will be enthralled watching it. So once again, a warm welcome to each one of you. And I hope you enjoy this program. And I thank you, the students team and everyone. They've worked very, very hard for weeks together to put this before you. So sit back and enjoy. Thank you so much. Mana, over to you.
Thank you for your wonderful words, ma'am. Now let's talk about EBSB. EBSB, Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat is an initiative by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat programs aims to enhance interaction and promote mutual understanding between people of different states and union territories by the concept of state-union territory pairing. The state carries out activity to promote a sustained and a structured cultural connection in the areas of language learning, culture, traditions, music, tourism, cuisine, sports, and share the best practices, etc. For this, we have paired up with IMI, that is the International Management Institute, Bhubaneswar. Isn't it a great thing that we are a part of a nation that is diverse in every possible way? There are 121 languages spoken in our country. Our India is diverse in geographical location as well. We have one of the hottest place with, and as well as one of the places which is having the highest rainfall. On similar grounds, we also have a diverse culture in dance. When we talk about the culture and dance together, folk dances come into the picture. Dances is traditionally being an important part of our religion and culture in India. According to Indian legends, Lord Nataraja invented dance. Dancing is one of the most revered Hindu art because it incorporates melody, drama, and different forms. Gestures, body position, and head movements are emphasized in Indian dance. I happily present Nritya-Utsav, which is based on vibrant and colorful folk dances of India. In today's event, students of VESIT and IMI will take you on a tour of beautiful folk dances of both the states, which are Maharashtra and Odisha, where graceful dance performance will be performed by the students from both the colleges. You will not only enjoy the dance, but get the insights on its history and growth in today's era. Now, let the show begin. I invite CS Lakshmi from second year of instrumentation branch of VESIT to take over the event. Over to you, Lakshmi.
Thank you, Manav. I'm CS Lakshmi and I'll be guiding you all through this event. It is said that dance is one of the best mediums through which you can express yourself. Thus, there is no better way to explore the culture of a state than by the way of its dance forms. Maharashtra celebrates a multitude of fairs and festivals, and dancing plays a key role in almost all of them. These dance forms have been a huge part of the culture and history of Maharashtra and give us an opportunity to see and understand the beauty they behold. Today's program will give us an insight into some of the most beautiful dance forms that have graced Maharashtrian culture. Dances like Jogwa, Launi, Povada, and Koli have been a significant channel of expression of emotions like devotion, happiness, sadness, love, anger, and much more. Similarly, Odisha also boasts a rich culture with various dance forms like Odissi, Chhau, Gotipua, etc. Dance forms are monumental in understanding how society used to be and are a lesson in themselves about humanity as a whole. In today's program, the colorful action dances of our beautiful students will dazzle you, the perfect moves of our classical dancers will enthrall you, while our council will throw some light on the origins and beginnings of these wonderful dances. We hope that the masti of these beats will enliven your day. Without wasting any time, let's delve deeper into the fathoms of dance. I'm sure all of those sitting over here will have great fun and experience. With this, let's get ready to experience the splendor of Nritya-Utsav. I will now be explaining the flow of today's event. Both the colleges will be presenting us with some interesting information about the dances and educating us about them. This will be followed by their classic performance. Hereby, I invite VESIT to present their first dance form Jogwa, which will be presented by Suleiman, a second year student from IT department. The dance will be performed by Manali Patil on the song Udega Ambe Ude. Over to you, Suleiman.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Hello, everyone. I'm Suleiman Mathekar, second year IT student at VESIT. The first dance performance of this event is known for its energetic choreography, strong music lyrics, and deep backstory. I am talking about Jogwa, one of the most talked about dance forms of Maharashtra. Jogwa is derived from the Marathi word Jogwa, which means to donate something while worshipping goddess. Some of the goddesses usually worshipped are goddess Amba, Bhavani, Renuka. Throughout history, Jogwa has been a popular practice in Marathi folk region, but the present day community has named it as a folk dance or a folk art. Next slide, please. Jogwa is a concept that relates to the worshipping of goddesses. The general meaning to ask for Jogwa, which means asking for grace. The goddesses often referred to here are Amba, Bhavani, and Renuka. Next slide, please. Asking for Jogwa in the name of goddess means going from house to house, asking for food and cooking and eating whatever dry rations or grains are found in it. The sustenance of Jogte and Jogtin, the ones who are performing the dance act, depends on this, but some devotees only ask for Jogwas on Tuesdays or Fridays, which are considered to be the days of the goddesses like Kali, Durga, Mahalakshmi, and Santoshima. Such a Jogwa is also requested by the audiences in the Autumn Navratri festival. Next slide, please. This tradition was followed in the rural areas in the ancient times, and like any tradition, was flexible enough for those in power to misuse it. It is known to be still followed in some villages in Karnataka. The female costume here consists of a typical green sari with open hair and makeup similar to representing the goddess or the Devi. The male costume consists of a similar looking sari as the female and also long hair. The male has to follow the same style as the female, as the Jogta has to give up his masculinity. Next slide, please. Talking more about the Jogta and the Jogtin, they are forced by the society to give up everything and serve God. A Jogta has to give up the fact of being a man and suppress all his desires. A Jogtin is expected to give up herself. She cannot get married, have children, or have a life of her own. Now, the Jogwa dance will be performed by Manali Patil on the song Udega Ambe Ude.
That was a wonderful performance by Manali Patil. The dance surely kept us on our toes. Thank you, Suleiman, for that amazing introduction about Jorba. Moving on, our next performance is one of the most popular ones in Maharashtra. Do you have any guesses? Well, I won't be spoiling much, but here I invite Gaurang Desai, second year student from IT department, to present the next dance form, Lavani. This dance will be performed by Shreya Kamble on the song Ugavli Shukrachi Chandai. Over to you, Gaurang.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. So our next performance is one of the most popular dance forms originated in Maharashtra, known for its mesmerizing music and rhythmic movement. Yes, I am talking about Lavani. Derived from the Marathi word Lavanya, meaning beauty, Lavani was a means to discuss the social aspects and issues in an entertaining form back in the 18th and 19th centuries. Lavani originated in the Solapur district of Maharashtra. The origin of Lavani can be found in the Prakrit Gathas, which gets its rich expressions written by the Marathi poets of that time. The Gathas give us some ideas about the beauty of Lavani dance form and the stories or leelas associated with it. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Usually, Lavani dance is majorly performed by the Dhangars or shepherds of the Solapur district, as the Dhangars herded to the green pastures for grazing for the cattle and were in awe with the nature. They got inspired by the scenic beauty and they composed their poetry. This poetry became the foundation for the dance form. It also contains the tales of birth of the deity called Biruba. Moving on to the next slide. Though Lavani had always been a part of the Maharashtrian culture in the past, it became popular during the Peshwari dynasty in Pune. Long ago, Maharashtra was a state torn with battles and fights. During such a situation where the soldiers were feeling hopeless, Lavani served as a method for relaxation for them. It raised their spirits and boosted their morale. Lavani served as a method where the society where the people were feeling many emotions regarding various topics like religion, politics, romance, etc. Lavani gave them a medium to discuss them in an entertaining form. Now, majorly, Lavani can be divided into four types: Nirguni, Shringari, Padachi, and Baithakichi Lavani. Let's move on to the next slide. Nirguni Lavani is a philosophical type of Lavani. It is more divinely inclined compared to the other types of Lavani and is popular in the Malwa region of Maharashtra. Shringari Lavani, as described by its name, deals with the concept of sensuality. It is a more popular version of Lavani, which deals with many genres, though the concept of love and admiration between a man and a woman can be seen more prominently in this form. Moving on to the next slide. The Lavani performances performed in theaters in presence of a huge crowd are called Padachi Lavani. When the Lavani is sung in a closed chamber for a private and select audience, it is known as Baithakichi Lavani. Now let's move on to the next slide and let's take a look at their style and dress up, which gives their attraction. The quintessential part of each performance is the sari. The sari worn by the performance is longer than usual and is called a nawwari. The performers may also choose to wear a flower garland for the hair. Performers also wear heavy jewelry that includes necklaces, earrings, a nose ring, and bangles. On their feet, performers wear payal or ghungru, which not only looks beautiful but can also be considered a musical instrument in its own right. Male dancers also play a supporting role with the women. Now let's move on to the next slide and let us see some of the greatest poets of Maharashtra who graced us with the wonderful poems that increased Lavani's popularity and took them to new heights. Lokshahir Bashir Momin Kauthekar is the popular present-day poet of Lavani, whose compositions are presented on stage by many tamasha troupes since the early 1980s. Satyabhamabai Pandharpurkar was a Marathi artist of Lavani. She was born in Sangli. Her Lavani career spans more than 5 decades. She received numerous awards from Maharashtra government as well. Yamuna Bai ruled hearts with her unique Baithakichi Lavani performances for years and was an institution in herself. She was only Lavani artist to be honored with the Padma Shri in 2012. Tukaram Bhaurao Sathe, popularly known as Anna Bhau Sathe, was a folk poet who used folkloric narrative styles like Povada and Lavani, which helped popularize and make his work accessible to many communities. Marathi films have also played an important role in making the Lavani genre accessible to the masses. Movies such as Pinjra not only attempted to blend traditional music with social messages, but also helped portray the Lavani world in a positive light. So without any further ado, presenting to you a wonderful performance by Shreya Kambe on the song Ugavli Shukraji Chandani.
अडवून कामज सोडाता पुर झालं ना धनी उगवली उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी अडवून कामत सोडाता अडवून कामत सोडाता पुर झालं ना धनी उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी 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 नीरव शांतता अवधि भवति रात किड़ा है किर किर करती नीरव शांतता अवधि भवति रात किड़ा है किर किर करती भिर भिर उडती वरपा कोळ्या धड धड होते मनी उगवली उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी लव लव करीती फिरवी पाठी समसमणाऱ्या चांदण जाती लव लव करीती फिरवी पाठी समसमणाऱ्या चांदण जाती वाऱ्यावरती गंध दरवळे केतकी छायापणी उगवली उगवली शुक्राची चांदणी 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 उगवली शुक्राची
Thank you, Shreya, for that beautiful performance and Gaurang for that presentation. I surely did not know about the honorable poets associated with the dance form of love. That definitely was informative. Well, our next performance is going to be as marvelous as this one. Without any further ado, I want to invite Anuj Bagar, a second year student from Computer Science branch, to present Gondhar. This dance will be performed by Ayushi Salunke on the song Lalati Bhanda. Over to you, Anuj.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Hello, everyone. I am Anuj Bagar from Computer Department, VESIT, and I will throw some light on Gondhar dance form. Gondhar is a Marathi folk theatre in the form of worship that is performed as a part of rituals after ceremonies like marriages or new birth. The literal meaning of the word Gondhar is commotion, which is the dramatic narration of mythical stories, praise of heroes, or narration of folk legends. Gondhar is an educative, entertaining, and important tradition. It is one of those few important folk arts of Maharashtra that has become an inseparable part of the lifestyle of the people. Moving on to the next slide about the origin and history, Gondhar was originated in Buldhana district of Maharashtra. The tradition of Gondhar originates from a homage paid to Mother Goddess by Parshuram. Once, Parshuram killed a demon named Betasur, cut off his head, sewed his arteries and veins through the crown of his head, and made a musical instrument out of it. Making a sound from that instrument, he went towards goddess Renuka and worshipped her. Earlier, Gondhar was mandatory in wedding ceremonies among Deshastha Brahmins and Marathas. After all the wedding rituals were completed, the Gondharis would begin around midnight and end early the next morning. There were Brahmin Gondharis, Renukrai Gondharis, Kadambrai Gondharis, Kumbhar Gondharis, and so on. The appeal of the Gondhari songs was such that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj himself used to give Gondhar performances in honor of Amba Bhavani of Pratapgarh. The Gondharis are worshippers of Renuka and Tuja Bhavani goddess. Moving on to the next slide, Gondhar is performed as a remedy to suffering or distress caused by negative energies. And in order to reduce this, the goddess is awakened with a loud sound and is invoked to undertake her mission of destruction. This singing and dancing before deities is practiced by members of Gondhari community. The Gondharis are invited to perform at many auspicious occasions like marriages, trade ceremonies, and important religious festivals. The dance is composed of dynamic movements and the dancers are brightly dressed and ornamented. The chief Gondhari is dressed in huge knee-length garment, that is a tall turban, and his companions wear traditional dhotis. Women mostly wear Brahmin Nawari saris. Now, presenting to you Gondhar dance form performed by Ayushi Salunke on the song Lalati Bhanda. Thank you.
That was an amazing performance by Ayushi. Thank you, Anuj, for that wonderful presentation. The last presentation from our side is going to be one of the forms that have had a huge impact on various sectors of Maharashtrian society. So, with the sounds of roaring seas, I hereby invite Nandita Jadia, a second year student from Instrumentation branch, to give us information about the energetic Koli dance. This dance will be performed by Meera Sawant Desai on the song Me Hai Koli. Over to you, Nandita.
Greetings to everyone. I'm Nandita Jaria. Imagine sitting near a beautiful seashore surrounded by colorful people and their gifted dance. These colorful people are none other than the people from the Koli community. Moving to the next slide, let's talk about their origin. There is an island near Mumbai known as Old Women's Island. It was initially known as the island of Koli till 18th century. After that, it was governed by Portuguese and later was handed over to the British. They spread over to the northwestern part of the state, mainly Mumbai, and the parts of Mumbai such as Sion, Vasai, Kulaba, Worli, and the areas near seashores. Their main occupation is fishery. Therefore, they like to dance to express their gratitude. It is generally performed during festivals, and one such festival is known as Nadi Purnima, where the people from the nearby areas gather to celebrate the end of the monsoon season and initiation of fishing by worshipping the sea, dancing, and singing. On the next slide, giving a compliment to the blue sea, women wear a green sari, draped up to their knees, and tie their hair in a form of a low bun. They like to adorn themselves with necklaces, bangles, earrings, and gajra around their bun. Men wear lungis around their waist that form a triangular shape and with their famous koli cap, and some of them even carry oars, as shown on the slide. Here comes the next dance slide. Both women and men participate in a performative dance move, starting with an individual line or in pairs. One of the forms, the fisherman stands in a row holding their oars, while the women form a separate row, linking their arms together and approaching the men's look in an enchanting manner. As the rhythm of the music reaches a crescendo, the separation of the men and women takes place, and they again dance in unison with the steps that portray the formation of the wheel. Another form includes where the women dance between the sticks held by the men. These sights are marvelous in their own way, even though the dance form may vary from region to region, but their love and respect towards their work remains the same. Let's enjoy the fame and the event our traditional dance have achieved over the years. In 1961, the Koli community represented their culture and dance at the event of the Republic Day. They even got the former Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, to dance with them. Another event took place in November 2010 during Diwali, when the former President of America, Barack Obama, and First Lady, Michelle Obama, visited India. To make their visit memorable, the small program was organized by the school students in Mumbai, where they performed the Koli dance and sang Me Aahe Koli. Before wasting any time, here comes the dance by Meera Sawant Desai on the song Me Aahe Koli.
That was a beautiful presentation by Nandita Jaria and a wonderful performance by Meera Sawant. Also, visit team, I surely enjoyed the beautiful, amazing presentation by you. I hope that our audience also did. Thank you to all the council members who gave us insight into this amazing dance forms and the dancers who gave us a chance to see, know, and understand. With this, now it's time to invite Rashika Jaiswal from IMI Odisha team to continue with this event. Over to you, Rashika.
Thank you, Lakshmi. So, good morning to one and all present over here from IMI. International Management Institute Bhubaneswar was established in 2011 and is a young institute which achieved the coveted position of 62nd rank in National Institutional Ranking Framework 2021 conducted by Ministry of HRD, Government of India. Coming to the EBSB Club, in order to uplift the spirit of Mahatma Gandhi and strengthen the emotional and cultural bonding among all the states of India, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while addressing as Rashtriya Ekta Divas, announced the launch of a new initiative called Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. Following the guidelines of AICT and Government of India for the same goal, IMI Bhubaneswar launched the EBSB Club last year and tied up with colleges of Maharashtra to organize various events with the motive of cultural exchange. Some of our previous events are virtual play, Raga Rhythm, a webinar on how to equip yourself for the COVID era. Now, coming to the dance forms part. Ritvik, can you please move to the next slide? Ritvik, can you please move to the next slide?
Next, it is not visible.
No, it's not visual.
Siddharth, can you help out?
Is it visible now?
No, it's not visible.
Now,
I guess there is a network issue.
is it visible now? Hello?
Actually, it's blur, Ritvik.
Okay, I guess there is a network issue from my side, so I'm trying it.
So, Odissi is a major ancient Indian classical dance that originated in the Hindu temples of Odisha, an eastern coastal state of India. Odissi, in its history, was performed predominantly by women. Odissi performances have also expressed ideas of other traditions, such as those related to Hindu gods, Shiva and Surya, as well as Hindu goddesses. The foundation of Odissi are found in Natya Shastra, the ancient Hindu Sanskrit text of performance art. Next slide, please. Okay, so the Odissi dancers are colorfully dressed with makeup and jewelry. The sari worn by Odissi dancers are brightly colored and usually of local silk. These saris have traditional prints of Odisha with regional designs and embellishments and may be the Sambalpuri sari and Bumkai sari. The hair is tied up and typically drawn into an elaborate bun resembling a Hindu temple spire and decorated with seti. Next slide, please. Okay, the costume of males. The modern Odissi male performers wear dhoti, a broad cloth tied around waist, pleated for movement and tucked between legs, usually extend to knee or lower. Upper body is bare-chested and a long, thin, folded, translucent sheet wrapping over one shoulder and usually tucked below a wide belt. So, next slide, please. Okay, Odissi is recognized as one of the 8 classical dance forms of India and celebrated around the world for its lyricism, sensuality, and emphasis on bhakti bhava, attitude of devotion and surrender. Like most Indian classical temple dance forms, Odissi has also been influenced by strong religious beliefs. It follows the philosophy of Nritya, which deals with the aesthetic arrangement of abstract movements of the body, and Nritya, which employs facial expressions, hand gestures, and body movements to convey a particular emotion. Next slide. Now we will be presenting the Odissi dance form of Satvika from IMI Bhubaneswar.
Ritvik, can you share the screen? Because I'm not getting it. Hello? Yes, it's visible, but hello. I think it's getting.
Can you just stop presenting?
Ritvik,
So it was an amazing performance by Satvika. Now we will play the another Odissi dance performance by Shubhashri from IMI. Bhaiya, can you please play the video?
I'm facing some trouble. Okay. Can any other play?
And it was an amazing performance by Shubhashri. Now I will hand over to Bidisha for the next performances.
Thank you, Prashika. Now moving on to the next dance form. Can we please share the screen? So the next dance form is semi-classical dance. And okay, so the introduction of semi-classical dance is a combination of Indian classical and folk dancing that is known as semi-classical dance style. However, the Indian classical dance style is authenticized and it is upheld. Moving on to the origin. The origin of the semi-classical dance is in Indian classical and folk dance. Semi-classical dance is an art form that features extensive movements of your body while maintaining grace along with expressions and speed. Interestingly, this dance form breaks what is called as a stylized structure in the classical dance. Next slide, please. Okay, so now we'll be presenting Anshita Mishra's video on semi-classical dance.
मरोड़ी कलाई मोरी, मरोड़ी कलाई मोरी, हाँ कलाई मोरी, हाँ कलाई मरोड़ी कलाई मोरी, चूड़ी चटकाई इतराई तो चोरी से गरबा लगाई, हरी ये चुनरिया जो झटके से छीनी,
So with this, I would like to conclude the performances of IMI Bhubaneswar. Now I will hand over to Mano for the next.
A beautiful representation of the Orissa team. That was a spectacular performance from both the colleges. Now I will invite Shruti Jagtap, student of EBSB VESIT, third year student from the Department of Electronics and Telecommunication to give vote of thanks.
What a great event. I would like to thank Principal Ma'am, Dr. Mrs. J.M. Nair, Vice Principal Ma'am, Dr. Mrs. M. Vijayalakshmi, EBSP Coordinator, Dr. Geeta Ajit Ma'am, and our faculty in charges, Dr. Parmeshwar Birastar Sir, Dr. Ramesh Solanki Sir, Priya Ma'am, and Pooja Shakti Ma'am. Prashika Jaiswal, Vidisha Josh, Rakesh, Chitumuni Sharma, Ritvik, and the entire IMI team for their immense support and cooperation for making this event a success, and the EBSP team of VESIT for creating such a commendable event. Thank you.
That was a wonderful event, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. This was our humble attempt to connect the youth to its cultural roots. I would now conclude the event. We will meet soon with another wonderful event. Thank you.